Every update of a game is a culmination of the game's build on the public side of things, but never quite the full picture of how far in development the game actually is. It's like laying down railroad tracks as you go along. The train is never going to be at that furthest out point of the track for fear of derailment, but instead will be a few behind. Because of this, oftentimes, future plans are revealed due to things being tethered to the public build of the game that's indicative of the future builds of the game. Now, Call of Duty has admittedly gotten a lot better in the last year and a half or so at making sure things in the future are hidden from public view and from data mining, but as always, it's just about impossible to make sure that everything is hidden, and Season 2's update and content is no different. While there's not as many leaks as we've seen in years prior, there's still leaked content to discuss here today, and will be again in a little bit of time whenever we end up seeing the Season 2 Reloaded update happen in just about a week or two. So drop your thoughts as we go along. What are you hoping to see in regards to upcoming leaks? Do you like what we've seen so far? Drop your thoughts, but if you enjoy the video, you find it at all insightful, make sure you drop a like and make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 6 and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have in the community, but for now, let's get into it. So today's leaks, a few disclaimers. Number one, as always, anything that is shared like game files or assets cannot be shown on screen. Until publication, they're intellectual property of Microsoft, Activision, Treyarch, and any other parties who worked on the content and are subject to DMCA removal. So I love informing you guys about new details of the game, what's upcoming and all that kind of stuff, but not enough to risk the channel we've built over 12 years here. So any pertinent information will be linked in the description below if applicable. Number two, the information comes from resident leakers Alex, Reality UK, and others, all again linked down below if you'd like to check their feeds for any further information. And number three, as mentioned, leaks are a snapshot into the window of development. Not all of these things are guaranteed to come. Not all of these things are guaranteed to release exactly as mentioned. And some things just entirely may be accurate 100%. But with things being worked on as of this being published, be aware that things are subject to change from now until their actual releases. So anyways, let's firstly talk about some multiplayer maps here, because this season we still have Bullet and Grind coming throughout the season, so we know of 2 maps at least that are coming. But in addition to that, the Season 2 update also added in the game files 2 additional map names, Jade and Topaz. So the unfortunate part, we don't really have any indication what those may in fact be for. It's already been mentioned by Treyarch devs that they have interest in creating more original maps than remasters in the post-launch year of support, which could indicate that these are brand new original maps, but there's just genuinely zero intel that can be gathered from just these 2 names. They're code names and nothing more than that. What is interesting though, to me at least, is that we do of course have this seeming interest to have multiple original maps throughout the year of support, but there are also still a ton of maps that have been leaked that are likely coming to this game, or some that potentially could be saved for 2025, but maps like Firing Range, WMD, Yemen, Launch, and others, those are all remasters and have been mentioned to be at least associated with Black Ops 6, and some potentially, if they don't happen, being pushed over into the launch content of Black Ops 7, if we want to call it that, later this fall. It's been reported we won't see as many remasters as Modern Warfare 3's 16 remastered maps from the Modern Warfare 2 2009 map selection, but it also could be something that there's still a solid mixture of originals versus remasters, that maybe if these don't come during Black Ops 6's year of support, then we see them again as launch content for the next game. Either way, interesting. Not to mention, we probably could see a ton of maps still to come from Avalon, that area within the Warzone map that's right now not being utilized, because we've already seen a handful of these existing maps coming from that area as well. Next, a new crossover event is basically all but guaranteed at this point. I'm assuming within the next week or so here we're going to see confirmation of this, but there's more details associated with it in the game files from the Season 2 update. That being the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. Now, we saw this already previewed in terms of things like the official blog reveal for Season 2, where they said there was a surprise on Grind, where discussing the details of the map coming at mid-season, the COD blog pointed out an interesting mention about a map for, skateboarding, where they said the infamous skate park first introduced in Black Ops 2 makes its Black Ops 6 debut in the mid-season. Shred your enemies across the indoor stadium and pro shop, or soak up the sunshine in the huge skate bowl and half pipe outdoors. Use the ramps for cover and to get above the competition, and bust out your best trick line, the 360 corkscrew one shot. Also expect an additional surprise related to this map later in the season. Then the blog further mentions multiple melee weapons coming. When detailing the weapons segments, they briefly talk about the mid-season update, which was kind of strange to begin with because they always detail in these blog posts the weapons coming throughout the entire season, not just up until the mid-season point and then leaving the back half of that season a big question mark. But they said Season 2 offers an incredible choice of armaments for those operators favoring close quarters combat. Expect to fill your melee loadout slots with multiple additional hand-to-hand weapons coming at mid-season. Multiple additional hand-to-hand weapons, plus a rip-roaring projectile armament coming later on. Expect more information in the Season 2 Reloaded blog. So it surely seems like they're going to have a bit of a surprise with skateboards and melees, which those melees already have leaked and again were reiterated in these game files of the skateboard, katana, sais, nunchucks, and the bow staff, all of which again were used by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's also been leaked that we're going to have some LTMs here alongside these rewards and whatever collaboration event we have here with us, with a game mode that is going to be akin to the Boys events in Modern Warfare 3 MP and Warzone in Modern Warfare 2, where you're going to have special abilities based off of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I'll be really curious to see how that one plays out and if it's something that can be confined in just the multiplayer capacity, because if you guys remember, that was one of the big things that unfortunately was kind of plaguing the multiplayer and Warzone experience in, I think, Modern Warfare 3 it was, where cheaters were able to gain access to those abilities in just regular modes. So obviously not ideal. Hopefully that's something that is fixed out for the next time. But the final things that were really leaked here that I think are worth mentioning come down to some zombies content. We saw a little bit of additional playable aspects coming to the game here in the game files updated with this update, a field upgrade, ammo mod, and 2 perks that look to be returning. First, the Frost Blast field upgrade from the last 3 zombies installments of Cold War, Vanguard, and Modern Warfare 3 zombies that deals frost damage and slows enemies with upgradable features appears to be coming back as a field upgrade once again for Black Ops 6 zombies. Shatter Blast, the ammo mod back from Cold War and Modern Warfare 3 zombies, where bullets deal explosive damage while each bullet also has the chance to explode to deal additional damage, looks to be returning again as an ammo mod. And then the perks of Tombstone and Double Tap appear to be returning, at least as of these game files and what they mention, where Tombstone is a perk from Black Ops 2, 3, Cold War, and Modern Warfare 3 zombies that allows you to get your perks minus Tombstone and your guns back after you go down when being reintroduced after full dying in a round of zombies. Though in Modern Warfare 3 zombies, it allowed that to persist through matches because it was open world and not a round-based element to it. So that's something that can be pretty beneficial here. And then Double Tap, of course, increases the rate of fire of all your weapons and doubles bullet damage in prior Double Tap 2.0 versions if it comes back like that. My only thing here with this, Treyarch, give me Mule Kick, you cowards. I would love to be able to work on 3 weapons for camos at a single time instead of having to ride the box out whenever doing these camo challenges for Nebula instead of just 2. But I get it. Tombstone, Double Tap, probably, of course, much more beneficial to the average player than myself who's just camo hunting, but I'd still love to see that come. There's also no details just yet on the next map, or at least in the way of leaked game files that point towards this. Obviously, the ending cutscene ends up taking us back to Liberty Falls and the mansion there, so we have an idea of what to expect, but in terms of game files and things that we can pull from that actually showcase what we'll end up seeing in a more certain capacity, nothing there just yet. Though the interesting thing that we learned about recently was not necessarily details on the next map, but the year as a whole and what is still remaining. It was detailed on a leak from the Ghost of Hope about a bit broader of the future, where he said there's 3 round-based maps left for Black Ops 6 Zombies. One of the future seasons will not have one. Black Ops 6 Zombies will end with 7 round-based maps at the end of its life cycle, and I've heard that the maps from this year's game may carry forward to this year's Black Ops game, being COD 2025. So the whole thing right there is incredibly interesting to consider. Number one, only the second time in COD history that we'd see more than 4 Zombies DLC round-based maps at any given point. Though the first, of course, was that of Chronicles, so you can exclude that one because that was not in the first year of support, but rather the second one, that year 2 offering. Number 2, I personally think that Season 3 upcoming next season would be the season that we do not see an introduction of a Zombies map. Solely because when you think of what else is coming next season, for Verdansk is right now leaked and rumored to be there. So for the lack of a better term or way to phrase it, surprisingly, Warzone lately has been the neglected experience of the three main pillars: co-op, multiplayer, and Warzone at that point. We've seen more content in multiplayer and zombies this year, which as a multiplayer main, that's fine with me, but also it's very uncharacteristic of the support for Warzone as a whole the last couple of years. So with the OG map coming back, I'd imagine that we end up seeing a large amount of focus in the Season 3 content on both Verdansk and the Warzone experience, but also in terms of the marketing for it as well. So I'd assume zombies takes a backseat here during this span. Others seem to think that it's possible Season 6 could be that season where we don't have a map because it'd be too close to the launch of the next game. But honestly, I think if it's at the launch of Season 6, that's still at least 6 to 7 weeks away from the next launch offering for the Black Ops 7 Zombies offering. That I don't think that'd be too much of a detriment to that, but that's just me. Either way though, sounds really interesting if this kind of stuff does actually happen. But anyways, that is the content that we know about the leaks so far for Season 2 and beyond that have come out of the update for Season 2. Again, in just a little bit of time here, we're likely going to have the Season 2 Reloaded update, which very well could add even more to the equation in terms of letting us know more. If there's anything that leaks as the Season 2 Reloaded update, I would probably imagine it's building more so off of what we talked about here today, but also, again, because we are so close at that point, I would not be surprised if we see some leaks and hints towards Verdansk as well, being that that's the next update after this one, perhaps, that will be coming. Again, pending there's no Season 2.75 or whatever like we saw with the Squid Games event of a 1.75 kind of, but with a shortened season, again, not expecting that. But anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think here of the leaks and what we know of so far out of the game files? Liking what you hear, hoping to see something else in particular? Let me know your thoughts, but make sure you drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.